Sipping on some latte. How's it going, everyone? Beautiful people of Instagram. This is Jose Trujillo. I had a few minutes here. I brought my son to drum lessons, and I had a few minutes here to talk to you guys. So I'm here. I want to talk to you guys about something that has come up over and over again. The question is, do I need money to start to continue my art business, or my vision as an artist, and all these things, right? Whatever you're trying to do. A lot of people seem to think that money is what's stopping them, that I don't have money, I don't have the funds, I can't move forward. And I wanted to touch on this really quick because I think it's a bunch of crap. I don't think it's true. I never thought it was so true until recently, when I started talking to more people and looking at different creative ways that they started showing their work. And they started, because at first I thought it was just me. I thought, well, maybe I got lucky, maybe I just got lucky. That's what I used to think to myself. Maybe I just got lucky that I started somehow sharing my work and it clicked and people started buying it. Maybe I just got lucky and things started working for me because, I don't know, some sort of luck. I never really thought of myself as I don't know, an artist, entrepreneur, or anything like that. I just thought something cool started happening for me or whatnot. So the question is the same. Do I need money to make money? Always hear this from different people, different sources, Zeddy Grams, I miss you guys. I miss you too, babe. My wife knows I'm here. I'm supposed to be in the Guitar Center, but I'm not. I'm making a video out here in the car for you guys while my son is practicing with his drum instructor. So the question is the same, right? Do I need income to make income? A lot of people seem to think this is the truth. Do I need, how much is it to start, getting gallery, representation? Now a lot of this comes up because there's a lot of bad information out there, as I've spoken before, and I will continue to talk about this because I don't think it's fair for artists to keep getting this bad information and for other people to keep spreading this type of information, which is, look, if you want gallery space, you need to pay. That's a bunch of bull. It's not true. And galleries that are doing that, guys, they're galleries that are getting smarter and smarter by the day. They know that artists are hungry. They know that artists are desperate. Many artists are desperate and want to show their artwork. So instead of turning you down because you don't really fit there, or they believe they can't sell your work, or they just don't have, they don't have the wall space or whatever. Let's put it that way, right? They don't switch their work often enough, their wall space. So they came up with this idea. Let's start charging artists to submit. That's one, right? To submit their work. 2, to participate in the show, right? And 3, to ship both ways. You ship, to send it there, and you ship to get it back. Now, I'm not saying that galleries that do this are crooked. Some galleries tend to, they're offering a lot, whatever a lot is, wherever you are, right? They say we're doing marketing and we're doing this for you and we're doing that, and at the end of the day, they're asking you to help them pay for rent. And many times they're asking a single artist to help with half of the rent. And you're only in a pool of hundreds of artists that are doing the same thing, or dozens of them at the same month. So I don't think that's legit. I don't think that's good. I don't completely disagree with every single gallery that's doing it because I don't know what they're doing, overall. But I don't think that it should take money for artists to start getting the ball rolling. I don't think it's true. I don't think that artists need to go pay galleries to show their work. I don't think that that's the way it's done. And so that's why a lot of artists have this idea, right? That it takes money. When I ask artists, what do you think it's holding you back? They say money. A lot of the answer is money. And I'm like, well, why? Well, because, to exhibit and to this and to that and to, and it seems like this overwhelming cost. And now for me, I'm running a small business with my artwork. it is a cost, but it's because I'm at a place where things are now rolling. I'm trying to get them rolling as quick and as hard as possible. So now things are costing, right? There's a lot of shipping costs. There's a lot of shipping costs. There's a lot of materials, submissions, and not submissions like I was talking about right now in the term, in sense of getting artists. But I'm doing more like working with interior designers and different stuff. So now that adds, in some places adds cost and whatnot. But that is because I'm at a place where I can afford, right, to quote unquote multiply my efforts, right? Hildebrand. Sorry, Hildebrand. I'm sorry, I couldn't spell this correctly. Do you sell prints of your art? I sell prints of my art. I do. I haven't gotten good at it. I think to sell prints, it's like everything else. You have to know the place. You have to kind of dial in where you can sell prints. I've tried selling prints on eBay. Kim, oh, awesome, Kim, thank you. I tried selling prints on eBay, and I do sell them, but some people get confused and think that I'm selling the original art. And now, and I have kind of like a ship back because of that. It's like, oh, I thought it was original. I'm sorry. I wanted an original because I sell originals and prints at the same time. So I sell prints, but I haven't gotten good at the whole print selling, completely, to the point where I'm really, making some cake. I sell prints and I make an income from it, but I really want to amp that up, and I haven't gotten good at it. Do you have a great printer? I don't have a great printer. I use printers, local printers, and from time to time I use online printers. There's different types of online printers that work really well. It depends on your price points. When you don't have your own printer at home, okay, and you're not willing to put in the cost for that, it gets expensive. It's always going to get expensive. So you want to be able to know what price point you're going to sell them at. The reason why I say this is because most prints online, it seems to be the most cost effective for the most part. Quality control is kind of goes out the window a little bit because you don't, they're doing it somewhere else. You don't get to really see much into it. The price point usually for about a 24 by 36 goes around $40-50 plus shipping. So you want to make sure that I think you sell that at least, right? And for $100, I would assume. I don't know. So there's a thing you have to dial in with prints, and you have to also know the market you're selling them, and that they understand what type of print it is, and on and on and on and on. Because a lot of people, if you don't offer in the right market, think that you're offering an original, even though you state over and over that you're selling a print. So anyways, that's that. And getting back to the whole money thing. Right, I know, an artist talking about money, right? Oh, you shouldn't do that. Well, I'm doing it. Getting back to the whole money thing, guys, it doesn't take money, even though there's costs associated with things and whatnot. It does not take money to make money. Please understand this, guys, because there's a lot of people out there talking about this. There's a lot of people out there talking about how you don't want to feel like you're doing the wrong thing. You don't want to be selling out and on and on and on. And all these things that I just think they're a bunch of bull. And I think that we have to start doing what works for us, as artists, as creatives. We have to start looking at what is going to work for us. Not everything that someone else is doing might be working for us, but we can implement and we can try and test. Kim says, when I get great with marketing prints, I'll let you know how I do it. Awesome. Please do. That'd be awesome. I think that, some people are killing it with prints on Instagram. Some people do that, like the little prints, and they tapped into it. They know how to do it. It will come down to a following. What I've noticed, the common denominator with all of that is that they have like 100K people following them. So that makes a lot of sense, right? If you have like 100, 200, 300 people following you, on Instagram, of course, if you have, if you put $20 prints, you're probably going to make some cake. It's going to be really good for you. But If you don't have that, then you have to find, other ways. Maybe people who have followings, and then split some of the profit, and on and on and on, right? Justin says, do you have a degree in art, or are you self-taught and got where you are without a degree? Yeah, the whole degree thing, a lot of artists who studied art tend to say that if you don't have a degree, you can't do anything. That's a bunch of bull. We're not doctors with art. We're artists, I don't have a degree in art. I have never really studied art classically in any form. I've studied theory. I've taken classes. I've shadowed artists. I've done my good amount of reading, but I've never taking any formal art class or anything like that. There's a lot of classical artists out there saying, that people like me are doing it the wrong way and whatnot. I think they're just jealous. If you don't have classical training, if you don't have formal training, I'm not saying don't get some. I'm saying you don't need it to get it rolling. I got away with it by not having it. I sell just fine, and I show up and do my thing just fine without it. But if you have it, more power to you. And if you want it, even more power to you. That's awesome. What I'm saying is that you don't need it. I don't think you need it. You're an awesome inspiration. Thank you so much, Art Experiences. So what you want to do, I think, is you want to get the ball rolling, and you don't want to have this idea of, I don't have income, so therefore I can't create income. You don't want this whole thing holding you back. You don't want this whole thing of, well, if I had a bigger studio, this is one of the things I used to say to myself. If I had a bigger studio, I'm sorry, I dropped my kid's Play-Doh somewhere. Goo. I don't have a big studio. Kim says, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I don't have a big studio. I don't have the right colors. I don't have the right palette. I don't have the right training. This is another thing, guys. You're as good as you are where you are right now. And this took me a while to understand. You're as good as you are where you are. I know it sounds so obvious. It's like, dude, come on. Tell me something I don't know. I really can't. I think we all have the information already. And just kind of reminding and sharing. I think you know what to do. I think we all know what to do, which is undo it. Because there are... Not because you can't, not because you don't want to, maybe because you don't want to, but because we have this stoppers. I've talked about this stoppers many times. This stoppers put by society, this filters, suppressors that won't allow you to excel because you have to meet someone's standards, someone's requirements. Guys, we're not doctors. We're not lawyers. We don't need to take the bar to become artists. We can get the ball rolling. What we really are is we're a breed between interior designer and poet, I think. Color poet or whatever, design poet. And you don't need someone to say, oh yes, go off to the races, here are my blessings. You don't need anyone like that. Justin says, how should I start selling my art? I've been drawing a lot lately and I want to start selling my art for cheap. That's a great question, and it's a great idea to start selling your art for cheap. Because you want to start feeling, this is something that I learned from Gary Vaynerchuk. You got to start feeling what it feels like to make a transaction. A lot of people don't want to go cheap from the beginning. And I think that if you don't want to go cheap, then you know something already, and that's great. More power to you. Don't go cheap. If you don't know how to transact yet, smell what a transaction feels like. And if that means just showing your work on Facebook, on Instagram, and saying, by the way, guys, whoever wants it, I don't know, maybe 30 people are watching it, or 100 people are watching it, or whatever. If anyone wants this, DM me for, I don't know, whatever, get your time back. I don't know, maybe no, I retract from that. You can't get your time. You can ever get your time back. Get some materials back, whatever. Feel what it feels like to transact. I cannot say for you what that price point is, but let's say that you agree on 30, 50 bucks, whatever, for a drawing or whatever you're doing, a small painting or whatever. Say it, just say, this is 40 bucks, and shipping to the US or wherever you're in is free. Make sure that you fit it in a little box or something. I don't know. And feel what it feels like, and use different price points, because you might not nail it at $50 and say, oh, this doesn't work, You might nail it at $25. You might nail it at $100. Maybe you're selling yourself short. But this is one of the problems. A lot of us think we're selling ourselves short, and we just keep bumping the price without really yet experiencing what it is to. You gotta be able to smell the transaction. You gotta be able to understand it, to be like, oh, this is what it feels like to sell my art. This is what it feels like to package something and send it to them on time. This is what it feels like to talk to someone and exchange value. They're giving me. That's why I tell you guys, I started on Craigslist, believe it or not. And that's how I started. Now I'm selling artwork to interior designers who are putting stuff in hotels and whatnot. And I still do the low end stuff, like the low, not low end, but the low price points. But a lot of people raise their eyebrow and say, oh my God, I can't believe you're selling it for that low. Well, if you can't believe it, go buy it, dude, because I'm not going to be able to do this that much longer. You know, the reason why is because naturally things are going to start going up. It's just the way it is. The more you reach the market, the higher your price points are going to start getting. And of course, you want to keep something, right? Some prices for everyone, right? Some price points. But your original bigger price points and your bigger art and your more, you know, on and on, your good stuff, let's call it that, it's going to start going higher in price. So I would say the way you start is just start sniffing what a transaction is. If you start there, man, you're in it 90% already. If you start sniffing what that is, what maybe for some of you guys, it might not even be going online right away, because a lot of people are like, how do I get online? How do I go online? And then you just completely neglect everything else. What I would say is don't try to just go online and neglect everything else. Maybe you guys have a lot of friends or maybe you guys have friends who sell real estate. And here's a little tip. Why don't you guys, in an open house, do a little open house / art show? You know, and a lot of realtors like that because it creates buzz and it gets more people. What they want is traffic. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It will always come back to traffic. So they want traffic. So if you guys can create, I know it looks so creepy when I went like that. When you guys create another reason to show up to the open house, right? Now you're adding value to that open house with, now you take a couple of easels and you have a little art show with about 5-6 paintings with some iced tea or lemonade or whatever. And you show up there just for a couple of hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours for a little opening. And why do you want to do that? Because it benefits both. Right? If they agree, it benefits both. It benefits you, benefits them, and you get to start touching people. You get to start connecting with people. People start seeing your work. People start hearing about you. And before you know it, they're like, well, how much is that again? And what about if I buy 2? And on and on and on and on. And you start sniffing what a transaction feels like, if you haven't done that yet. If you already know what a transaction feels like, then get good at making multiple, not just one every now and then. So that's about it, guys. You don't need money to start, you know, making some cake from your art. I know that this is a popular topic in some areas and not popular in others. What I'm trying to say, guys, is that the power is with you. It's really the power of Grayskull, He-Man. The power is with you guys. You know, it really will come down to effort and how creative you get. A lot of us try to get creative before we put the effort, though, because we're artists. We're like, oh yeah, how can I get creative and you know, sneaky, and you know, how can I get really smart about it? And we start going off on ideas and things that we want to do, but we don't put the horses first. You want to put the horses ahead of the cart. Okay, don't try to just get creative and then get stuck there. That happened to me for years. What you want to do is make sure you put the horses first, your effort first. Go find out who's doing what, who's already doing something. Maybe someone's doing a little get together. I don't know, a book club. Then add in the whole art thing in there. Maybe someone else is doing a meet and greet. I don't know. Maybe someone is doing something. Go where people are hanging out already and become part of that. And start shaking some hands and you know, the creative thing is going to be born out of that. The creative thing, I used to think, oh, first you get creative. No, the creative thing is going to be born out of being committed and putting in the effort. And then you're going to start getting so creative that people are going to be like, man, you're magical. How creative are you? Look, you're coming up with this. It's not that you're coming up with all this stuff. It's that it's obvious. Now, at some point it becomes obvious because you're moving. you start hustling. So things start happening for you. Justin asks again, thank you for taking the time to give us some tips and tricks from someone with experience. I enjoy everything you say. Lovely artwork. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Super awesome. I love sharing this stuff. I love sharing my artwork as well. And those of you who are looking into artwork, don't forget to check my page. Here's my pitch at the end. Check my eBay page. You guys might learn also a thing or two from there. I don't know. Maybe you'll learn what not to do. Maybe you'll I don't know. Maybe you'll be like, I would never do that. Cool. Then go figure out how you would do it, and learn and do your thing. So I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you so much, Kim. Take care. If you guys like it, give me some hearts. I love the hearts. Tag a friend. And thank you so much, Roya Daily. I am the world's cutest, greatest living artist too. World's greatest living artist, guys. Coming to you from the car studio. I should turn the car on and have some air conditioning here. Thank you, gracias, Art Experiences. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Take care. Blessings. Be awesome. Keep painting, keep producing art, whatever you're doing. I don't know what you do. Maybe you're a tap dancer. Who knows? Go where the people are, guys. Don't try to go and try to pull people in the beginning. In the beginning, you want to go where the people are already hanging out, okay? This is the oldest trick in the book. Go where people are already hanging out. Maybe it's Etsy. Maybe it's Amazon. Maybe it's eBay. Maybe it's this. Instagram. I know a lot of people are killing it here on Instagram. Like, when I mean killing it, I mean that they're making some real deal cake. And Facebook, go where people are already hanging out and unite forces. Also, those of you who have blogs and whatnot, I want to unite forces with you guys. Speaking of uniting forces, if you guys have a YouTube channel and you guys are trying to get something rolling, or you guys are already rolling with something, or know of someone, let me know. DM me, please. I am eager. I am hungry to collaborate. I want to collaborate with people. I'm tired of doing this thing myself. This whole doing it myself thing is shitty. I need to start collaborating with other people, because I know that if we collaborate, there's going to be more power going both ways. I'll flow some power, they'll flow some power back. So if you guys know of anyone, or if you guys do it yourselves, let me know, okay? A blog, I don't know, maybe an article, Facebook fan page you guys have, and you guys want me to, do a little, Facebook Live for you guys, or whatever. I don't know. Let's do it. Let's do it. We can do this together, guys. Take care, guys. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. And please, if you guys have any questions that I didn't get to here, DM me, because I do get back, okay? I get back to my questions, but it's kind of harder for me to get back on the questions right here. DM me, please. Thank you so much, Roya. We can be cyber brothers. Take care. Bye-bye. If I can just turn this thing off.